Grand Canyon National Park crews are calling the search for a McCallie Middle School student rare.
Family members reported 14-year-old Jackson Standifer and his step-grandmother missing on Saturday night. Channel 3's Cameron Taylor explains why this case is different for search teams. Cameron?
Cindy, the park's chief ranger says they conduct more than 200 search and rescue missions a year. Usually they have an idea of where a missing person is, but so far Jackson and his step-grandmother have yet to turn up. An Easter weekend family trip to the Grand Canyon National Park took a heart-wrenching turn. Search crews say a McCallie Middle School student and his step-grandmother lost their footing and were swept down to Pete's Creek. That's in the backcountry area of the park.
The toughest part is the remote location and maintaining acceptable levels of communication with our teams in the field.
Chief Ranger Matt Van Zura says the terrain varies from flat to steep. Nearly 24 people are looking for Jackson Standifer and his step-grandmother using all means possible, including a boat and a drone. When they disappeared, Jackson's mother and his step-grandfather called for help. They used what's called a personal locator beacon, which alerts search and rescue resources.
Well, hiking and backpacking in Grand Canyon is challenging nearly anywhere you do it, and yet incidents like this are relatively rare.
Rare because crews aren't sure where the teen and his step-grandmother ended up. Family members are becoming concerned with this being the third day of the search. Jackson's uncle publicly posted on Facebook saying in part, quote, "The outlook is not promising, but there is still a glimmer of hope. We will hold on to this hope until there is reason not to. Please keep praying."
We are proceeding with search operations with a prudent amount of haste and urgency to try and produce the best outcome we can.
Family members and everyone at McCallie are remaining optimistic as they hope for a positive ending. A McCallie spokesman tells us students have been told Jackson is missing. The school is offering help for the boys while they wait for answers. Live in the studio, Cameron Taylor, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Cameron. DeKalb County deputies are investigating a death on Lookout Mountain. Deputies responded to a domestic violence situation on County Road 232 on Friday. When they arrived, they found Alberto Felipe dead behind the home. It's not clear how Felipe was killed. An autopsy will be completed by the Department of Forensic Science in Huntsville.